Why do people want to work with me in Humble Heartbeat Publishing? Do you know the most basic need of a human being is to be heard and have value in their life and to find a passion that allows them to impact the world? That's where I come in. I bring in the human factor to your story because I've walked that road. I understand what you're going through. People come to me because they're struggling, not just with writing a story, but they need to be able to trust someone. Because when you turn your story over, there's a lot of fear in that. And you have to have someone that believes in you, sometimes more than yourself, to be able to propel you into the courage that you need to do that story. Human factor, what is that? I can see your story and I can fill in the gaps. I can see where it just needs that emotional punch that will grip the reader and not let them leave. Listen, we want your book to make these people not want to go to sleep. They don't need to sleep. They need to read your story. And we keep them there. I call it the pain pocket in the pit. We give them a nice little opening to pull them in, and then we just throw them right down in the pit, and we don't let them out until the story's over. That's what it means to trust someone with your story. And I am all in when I commit to your project. You get all of me. I don't know, some people might say too much of me because I also bring with me a powerful punch in Humble Heartbeat Publishing. I bring you an accountability coach. And let me just tell you, as a writer, I don't like accountability at all. It's nerve-wracking, but it is really needed to keep you on track with your story and to make sure you hit your goals. And here's what else it does. This is the little hidden nugget that people don't want you to know about accountability. It helps you build confidence. You're confident when you hit your goals. You feel like you're on top of the world. You think I'm crazy, right? Let me tell you about two clients I have. I have one woman, Lorene. Let me just tell you, her story took me to the brink of emotional recoil. I felt like I was in that story, and I told her during the phone calls we had, sometimes till 1 or 2 in the morning because that was her schedule that she had to do. I said, girl, you can do this. But you know what? Everyone told her she couldn't, and that's what she believed. You believe what people tell you. They tell you that, so your mind tells you that, and your body believes it. But I come firing out of the gate telling her, girl, this is a story that's going to rock the world. You've known grief like most people will never experience in their life. I know it's hard. I know you're caught in emotional recoil, but you have to push through because people understand grief. That need where you just want something to hang on to in your life so that you have the will to get out of bed every day. She didn't know what she was doing when she came to me. She'll admit it to you. She said, I just put some words on a paper, literally on a piece of paper that we scanned and then we translated into Word. But you know what happened? She came through with one of the best books I've seen about grief. It is a powerhouse and it packs a punch. But guess what's even better? That girl's starting her second book because now she's confident in saying, I got this. Then I have another client, Keith. He came with a fully made story, front cover, back cover done, story completely done, and he said, I'm ready to roll. I said, okay, send it to me. Let me look at it. And I looked at it, and I sent him back a text. Not sure how he took it, but I said, you may be ready to roll, but we're going to roll on into some edits and some rewrites because your story, while it's amazing, it has the potential to be even bigger. And do you know what his response was? I'm all in. Let's meet for lunch and talk about it. I don't try to change their stories. It's their story. Their voice needs to be heard, not mine. If I'm writing your story, I'm ghostwriting it for you. But it's not you. And you have the power to do your story. And we sat and had lunch, and we just finished his rewrite, which took 3 months. And let me just tell you, this book, it's going to push sci-fi into a whole nother place. Then when they're done, we're still there as Humble Heartbeat, and I'm still there too because we are from beginning to end with you. And when you get your book published, you sit there and you're like, what do I do now? What am I going to do now? This is where I come in. I tell you, you need a bigger dream for your book. You thought this was just about writing a book. It's so much more. And they say, what do you mean? I tell them, listen, my first book I wrote in 2019 and published, Letters to My Father, I thought it was just a book too. It was a faith contract I made with God. I had the faith to do what he told me to do, and he had the faith that I was actually going to do it, and we got it done. And then the pandemic came and the whole world stopped, and I felt like I was left behind and forgotten about. But God doesn't forget you when he places something on your life. And I tell them the dream had to be bigger, and guess what that is? We are turning that book into a television series, and we're crowdfunding for it. Isn't that crazy? Some small town girl, big dreams, and God's like, I got this. We can do this. I just need you to stay the course. And here's what I'm going to tell you. When you are writing and even going through your life, your ego cannot fit through the doors that God will open for you. They just can't. You have to learn to leave your ego at the door. And let me tell you, that was a hard lesson God had to teach me, because my ego was so big, it could have circled the globe a couple times. And he said, I'm going to have to teach you some humbleness now. And I often wondered why he did that, because it was painful. I would have rather humbled myself. But you know what the key was? I had to learn how to teach others to be better than me and be okay with them out eclipsing me. Because no matter what they do or where they go, how many awards they get, even turning their books into films and movies, I played a small part in their journey. And that's what you want from someone that you want to work with. And that's what it means to be an author. Knowing that your book is the doorknob to the doors of opportunities that God is going to open for you. All you need is the confidence and courage to walk yourself right through them and embrace everything. And if people tell you you can't do it, you just think of my book going to TV, because let me tell you, it's not a bestseller anywhere. People don't know about it, but it's coming to TV and we're going to be there. So dream big. Don't put yourself and God in a box that you were never intended to stay in.